So I'm this content creator now, right? And one of the first things that pops up to your head when you start down a journey like this is, what are other people gonna think? You know, like, what about myself should I change? Is the first initial thoughts. To make, or not even just change, just like, what makes other people like me more? Because you want to be successful in being a content creator. You want to reach a big audience. You really want to resonate deep with all different kinds of people. But something that's always been itching at me since I began this content, this blog, this vlog, you know, just this online way of talking about my passions and really, you know, involving other people in my passions and things like that. It just, it's hard to get over being like, with the thought that I need to change myself to be more likable. And ever since I started the journey, something's been whispering at me, just be yourself. If you just be yourself, you don't have to worry about, you know, like, coming off a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's going to perceive you from their own perception. You can't you can't stop that. You can't stop people's opinions. You can't really like, it's not your responsibility to change people's opinions about you. It's not your responsibility to prove yourself to other people. We all get caught up in this ego assertion where we think, you know, we need to be proving ourselves. Stop proving and just be. Start being. You know? Ego is something that we have to let go in order to ascend into a higher dimension of reality. Get out of this 3D shit, you know? Like this hard-ass life. This hell on earth. Get out of this. And the only way we can really get out of hell on earth is to get out of the hell in our head. What is causing the discord in your heart, in your mind? What is causing the things inside of you that bring you pain and emotional turmoil? What kind of hell are you creating for yourself through your thoughts and perceptions? What kind of hell are you creating here on earth? Because hell isn't about where you're going when you die. It's about where you're living, how you're living, what kind of world you succumb to, you drowned yourself in on a day-to-day. The whole purpose of this life is to experience, to gain knowledge, to share information, but above all, to love unconditionally. And I don't think a lot of people understand the word unconditionally. A lot of people who haven't experienced that kind of love, it's hard to wrap your mind around such a term, but unconditional means without limits, without conditions, right? To be loved even though you are imperfect. To be loved even though you make mistakes and you have faults. To be accepted and loved unconditionally so that each and every one of us can really grow into who we're meant to be. really follow our journey, our soul purpose, follow our heart, and be able to transmute people's judgments, the negativity behind people's judgments, that we're not doing it right, we're not doing enough. We need to learn how to transmute that kind of energy and filter it out and let it go, because we can only control this space right here, your body, your mind. You can control your mind. You can. It's harder with the way we live in this day and age, with how distracted our minds are. It's hard to grasp the concept that you can control your thoughts, but it takes practice. We'll get into more on that later. Comment if you're interested in that, and maybe if I get enough people interested, I'll release it sooner. But I sat down to talk today because unconditional love is such an important part of Ascension. If you want to get out of whatever reality that you're living in, live in a more accepting, higher reality where you see the bigger picture, where you see how small the problems that you feel are monumentous actually are. Emotions have so much control over our modern lives. Like, they're deep. That's why, it's because emotions are so freaking deep. They, emotions carry very powerful energy. And so if your emotions are imbalanced, that can create all sorts of other energetic imbalance, not just emotional turmoil, but literally can affect your bodily functions on a physical level because of the energy flows that your body works with, like the energy flow that is your body, the energy flows that make up the existence of your meat vehicle. We have to raise these vibrations. I feel like I have faced demon after demon after demon this year. It's been a tough year. At the beginning of the year, I was like, this is going to be a good year. It wasn't a bad year. It was a good year, but holy fudge sickles. Holy fuck. Okay? Fuck is a good word sometimes, and that is a good word here. Holy fuck. And if you're really listening, when these conflicts come up in your life, our first initial reaction, right, is to blame the external influences. Blame other people for our problems. Blame occurrences, happenings, things that are out of our control. Blame those things. And that's not the solutions that are going to get you anywhere. What gets you anywhere is being responsible. When something happens in your life, like your car just takes a huge dump and will not run, and what the hell are you going to do? Reflect on what you could have done to prevent that. A, take care of the car. Or B, maybe this is literally energetic and this is the universe coming in going, you're fucking up. You know what I mean? Everything is connected. And if you are blaming your shortcomings and all your problems on things that are happening outside of you, you're not going to find any solutions. The only solutions you're going to find are the energies with blaming and judging, and that's not going to raise your vibration at all. You're not going to access any kind of higher reality being stuck in those kinds of low vibrational energies. It just doesn't work that way. So when something bad happens or somebody is, just nasty to you, you really have to step back and go, A, what is this teaching me? You know, what test is this today? You know, like, the universe is constantly testing you to level up. And there's a constant whisper of intuition in every single human being, doesn't matter who you are, that whispers to you every day. That is your divine connection to God. God, right? That higher energy that literally is such a high energy that it can manipulate lots of other different kind of energies, and it's a very universal, knowledgeable energy. It's not a personification, but God, you know, that energy, higher power, however you want to look at it, however you see it, you have a connection to it. That's what we are, God embodied, as is all other life that exists. I love talking about this kind of stuff. It makes like I could feel my chakras like almost turning, like I can feel their energy, their, you know, manipulation in my body sometimes, and sometimes when I say certain things they just rev up or kind of heat up. It's definitely interesting, but I think it's super important to talk about things like this, about taking responsibility for the problems in your life. And what we like to do is project our problems onto other people, and a lot of us don't even realize that we're not the victim. We all like to pull the victim card, but none of us are really victims. I mean, if you're a victim of abuse, that's different. A victim of trauma, if somebody else abusing you, then you're a victim, right? They have victimized you. But that's only with like serious abuse, like where you had no control and they had it all and they used it to hurt you, and that's not right. And I'm not excusing that here. But other things like, you know, anything that can bring you stress, that's just everyday shit, like people's opinions and, you know, negative outbursts of other people and happenings that just happen because this is life, like a flat tire, or, you know, just there's so many different things that can cause us to feel like we're the victim. Sometimes we fucking are, you know, when it's serious abuse that's involved. But stop being the victim to other people and their decisions. Stop being victim to whatever circumstances is in your life right now that seems so undesirable. Just playing the victim card will not bring solutions to your problems. That's what I'm saying. You have to take responsibility for how you feel. And it's not other people who make you feel a certain way. It's other people who trigger. Ooh, here we go. It's other people who trigger things inside of you that you already feel. Right? They just tickle that certain wound inside of your soul. And us as humans are learning very slowly how to deal with things like that. Other people triggering you. And I seen this quote float across Facebook just recently that was like, it is not the world's responsibility to tiptoe around you and learn your triggers and avoid them just so that you're not triggered. You know, like, and that's totally true. I had to step back and go, whoa. Because I am like that. I expect the people that I love to step around my triggers so that they don't hurt me. When what I need to be doing is working on healing those very deep soul wounds that are hurting me, so that they're not triggered by other people, so that they can't be triggered by other people, so that I'm not blaming other people for the wounds inside my soul. Because a lot of the time it's not this person's fault that the trigger's coming from. It's just the person that it's affecting. And let's just dab a little bit on the fact that if you desire things, it's human. It's human, it is. I desire things, everybody desires things. We desire things, it's just what we do. It's how we better our lives, but when you expect too much, you won't ever get the fulfillment of those expectations, and you'll always want more. If you do get some of those expectations filled, you'll always want more. It's a constant rotating cycle. If you desire something and then you get it. I'm reading this book. It's called A Million Thoughts by Om Swami. And it talks about how one desire fulfilled is the birth of 1,000 more. So he talks about, this never-ending cycle of us always wanting more. And maybe that wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't so materialistic. Like maybe if we just wanted to be a better person and we fulfilled that and 1,000 more desires of that was birthed, that wouldn't be bad desires, right? That would be good desires. But we as humans are very materialistic. I myself love beautiful things. I love buying beautiful items that make me feel good. Beautiful pictures, beautiful rocks. It's like a soul thing. But it's also a materialistic thing where once I get what I want, more desires are, there's more that I want after I get what I want. So I totally see the truth in that. A Million Thoughts, Om Swami. Look it up. You can buy it probably used on Amazon for $5 or $6 or something. I bought it for $7 in Oregon in a used bookshop. It was cute and perfect. But it's an awesome book. I haven't even finished it, but it's about meditation and things. And about, this kind of perspective of why are we as humans so unfulfilled all the time? What are we looking for that we aren't finding? Well, it's inside yourself. Whatever you feel you are lacking on the inside is on... Everything you feel you are lacking on the outside is on the inside. That's what I meant. And I feel like, the relationship energy lately, with the planetary influences and such, Mercury's back in retrograde, everything's fucking confusing and chaos again, emotional turmoils. Mercury retrogrades to shake us up. To shake our foundation, right? Like, how strong are you really? What's your weak spots? Where are you still broken? Where do you need to heal? That's what Mercury comes in with a big old fat retrograde to teach people. And if you are watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, she talks about astrology, fucking Mercury and retrograde. No, I'm fucking serious. Take a second to listen. If you think the moon, well, not just think, this is just science. The moon manipulates gravitational pull on the earth and literally moves the oceans. The biggest, most massive body of water, and just moves it. Pulls it and pushes it and pulls it and pushes it. If the moon has that big of an effect on that big of a body of water, how can you for 1 second deny how much water we have inside of our bodies, which is like 75%, right? We're like 75% water or some shit. Or some shit. how could you deny that the moon can't also pull the liquid inside of you? If its gravitational pull is so great, it can move those oceans. How can you deny that it can push and pull your liquids in your body, or your energy in your body? Because gravity is a total energetic thing. It doesn't matter if you're liquid. It doesn't matter what kind of material you are still being pulled. And since we're 75% liquid, that's quite, or water, that's quite of a big amount that can be manipulated inside of us. So going off that, the moon can influence us. So all other planetary influences that are close and within range can also influence us. They also influence us. Look up your birth chart. If you don't know what a birth chart is, comment below and I will get your free birth chart for you off of this cool website that I found. Or I'll just give you the website and you can do the thing. But I like to be part of it too, so. Seriously though, birth chart, look it up. Your birth chart is where the planets are, where the horizon is when you're born. Not only when, but like, not only the day, but like exactly what time. And like I said, the horizon line of where you're located when you're born have significant impact on your life, as do your name and, of course, your parents and, you know, the energy of your mom and her emotional turmoils while you were in the womb, and, you know, the birth, if it was traumatic for you to come into the world, that will stick with you. Just so many, you know, it's just so influential, and everything is connected. And if you are sitting there like, Ariel, you are fucking crazy, everything is coincidental, nothing really is connected, you're crazy, well, my friend, maybe you'll stick around long enough to really tap into this stuff, because you bet your ass everything is connected. There is no coincidences. Coincidence is a term that humans made up to explain things away instead of trying to actually figure out their connections, right? So, you know what? Maybe that's enough talking for today, but I wanted to sit down and really talk about like ego assertion and trying to ascend into this higher vibrational reality instead of existing in this hell on earth. What you need to be doing is creating heaven on earth, not only for you, but for your loved ones and the people that you care about, and even just the world as a whole, ultimately. Because if you go home and you love your family and you love yourself, you really do, you take care of yourself, you take care of your family, that is where heaven on earth starts. That's where you have to start it. But if you want to go all the way to square one, it starts in here. We are multi-dimensional beings. When we die, that's not the end. We need to tap into this universal love, this universal oneness, to create a peaceful reality where we can have a heaven-like reality on earth instead of a hell-like reality. Try to tell me for 1 second that this world is not centered around a hell reality right now. With all the separation, the judgments, the diversities, the power control freaks, the wars, the death, the destruction, the violence. We can do better, guys. And this goes, like, if this can translate into any language, this will help, because this is universal stuff. This is worldwide. We are all one. We have always, always, always been one. Dark energies have come in and taken over a lot of our world. Created the splits, the separations that keep us apart. That's what's keeping our hell on earth, and that's what's keeping us in this 3D painful dimension. Full of trauma, violence, abuse, all the bad things. We gotta let that heavy shit go, guys. That's what I'm saying. And it all starts here. And you gotta change this before you change your reality. Our hearts are all made of the same thing. That energy, unconditional love. You can tap into that. Anybody can. And if you're watching this and you were severely abused in your life and it's hard to tap into that kind of energy, I get it. You were a victim in those instances. You didn't have power to stand up and say, hey, stop. You can't do that to me. But you deserve now to stand up and say, hey, I didn't deserve that. I'm better than that. And so I will be better than that. Because if you are taking your pain and using it as an excuse to hurt others, you're losing. You're losing. Don't lose. Don't lose in this game. Follow your heart. Love people unconditionally. Accept your past. Work to heal it. Only you can save you. In here and in here. Only you. I'm Ariel, and this is my TED Talk. Namaste, guys. Peace, love, and enlightenment. That's all I'm here for.